We're in. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Almost Legal Podcast. This is Josh Akesine with my partner in crime, Chris Emmerke.
What's up, what's up?
Today we're joined with a local band. I'll let Chris introduce.
Welcome, everybody. We've got Smoking with a Bandit.
Hey.
Hello, guys. Hello,
What's
guys.
up, everybody? Nice to be here.
Local band, up-and-coming guys, working things the way they can. We were fortunate enough to have them in the studio earlier, playing a live set for us. We're about to get to know them a little bit. About to get to know the band. So let's talk a little bit about, guys, about how the inception of the band started out. It's my understanding that some of you guys were playing with another group, an acoustic set, and then we added, if I'm correct, Colin into the band later. First of all, let's introduce everybody. Okay, let's talk about percussionist Colin Payne.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, we got vocalist and guitarist Colby Wilson.
Hello.
We've got the man on the strings, Garrett Payne.
Hey, I'm alive.
And our bass carrying the load, Daryl McCarty.
What's happening?
All right, guys. Tell us a little bit about, and again, we're going to throw out some questions there. So just tell us a little bit about, how the band was formed. The name Smoking with the Bandit. Let's talk about that to start with. Okay.
The
Is
name,
that
yeah.
The name.
Let's talk about the name.
Yeah, these two guys got
Is
the
that
name.
is that a movie thing or is that a King of the Hill thing?
It was a what was it?
I don't think-
we
where's that
didn't have, or we had a name that it wasn't good. We used to be called Good Show Feeling, and it didn't make too much sense. So we were going around and somebody was like, "Let's name our band, Smokey and the Bandit." And I was like, "I don't think you can do that. I think it's a thing already."
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's some laws you got to kind of follow. But then it was kind of, I was just like, Smoking with the Bandit. I thought that was like cool, a little play on words. Kind of coattail on the famous one already.
Nice. I like it though because it has a nice ring to it. It has a really nice feel to it.
Yeah.
So, I guess another question a lot of people would talk about is, obviously you guys are out there playing gigs and everything. It takes a lot of practice to do this. A lot of people don't understand. Okay, it's not something you just throw together in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what's a practice session like for you guys? Is it all serious or is it a little bit of fun and games? I mean,
It's a good mixture of both, I'd say.
I say,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, for us, it's not like super serious, but at the same time, we all know we're there trying to get a job done. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, we want to have fun. This is what we like to do, is play music. But at the same time, like we have a goal in mind. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
Usually we started off with we'll just start off kind of warming up, jamming on a new song, or maybe we'll just pick a chord progression and just kind of jam in free form for a bit.
Just
to
warm up.
Get loose, and then we'll kind of get serious, think about our set list coming up for the next event, and go through that just in order to plan out the whole thing, so we get work out all the kinks.
Well, how's that work? Like, I understand that, but and I guess how that works is not even relevant in what I'm about to ask. But when it comes to creating a band,
Yeah.
I assume y'all have a variety of taste in genres.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it hard
definitely.
to narrow it down to a certain genre of music to play?
honestly, no. I think we do have pretty disparate tastes, but at the same time, we all just kind of click together playing. So,
Really? Okay.
we like to listen to different things, but when we sit down to play, this is the style that kind of comes about. So,
Right.
It's
It kind of
something-
makes its own identity.
a little bit, yeah.
It's something when it clicks, it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
It's one of those feelings when you're sitting in there and all of a sudden you sit down and you jam for the first time and you go, man, this just feels right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And,
It's
and
like love.
it is, no, but it is. It is. And I'll tell you, one thing I like about you guys is listening to your music and everything. And by the way, let's talk about this. You guys have recently released an EP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice, very nice. Okay. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. I know it's available on SoundCloud.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
Spotify, iTunes, pretty much anywhere you can stream music is there. So.
It's there.
I had an overlay for y'all's a scrolling overlay for y'all's links, but I forgot to do it. Sorry.
That's all right.
I guess one
Blame
of my
me, I'm an
questions would
asshole.
be, with this latest EP, you guys shot a video which is also out there, okay?
Mhm.
Yes.
And it's the title track to the album, if I'm correct. It's Waiting for Your Call.
Waiting
Yes.
on your call.
Waiting on your call. Waiting on your call. What made you choose that particular one to release as your first video?
We had a lot on the chopping block to choose from, but that one was at the time it was the most recent one, and it was the newest one, and Colin had just gotten back to playing with us. So it was really the first song we had that he can come back in on and just kind of create that with us instead of having to go over old songs and do those that everybody had already heard before. So we thought it'd be better to just go with the new one. It's the freshest. Hopefully it's the best. I don't know. I think we tried to film it for the best one. So that's making me do some mic work over
Everybody
here.
out there, if you haven't seen it, it's something absolutely definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, check it out on our YouTube page.
On the YouTube page.
Are y'all just now starting to grow that?
Well, that's really the only thing we have on YouTube right now.
Right.
We kind of want to use YouTube more for like our long form content,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just like if we have an official music video or like a really well made live video, and all of our other video content is usually on Instagram
Right.
or Facebook.
Nice,
Typically
nice.
shorter things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when we're talking bands, obviously there was a point sometime in all of you guys' lives where you woke up and realized that baseball or basketball wasn't really your thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know you. I'm fortunate enough to have known all these guys since they were very young. I've coached. I believe I coached all of you guys.
All of
at
us.
some point.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning that you guys are all together, which is really a really cool thing for me. Okay, to watch this come full circle is absolutely phenomenal.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy to be back here.
But was there something was there a particular point, a live show that either one? And I'll go with each one of you. Okay, was there a live show or a band that you picked up on? You said, "This is going to change me. This is what I want to do." Colin, was there somebody for you like that?
Not necessarily a specific band, I wouldn't say. Like, I know you and I talked about like your Kiss experience, seeing Kiss live. For me,
It was a life changer. 11 years old and I saw Kiss live, so that was definitely a life changer.
Awesome.
Apparently, the lead singer's a douchebag. Well, I don't remember his damn name. The guy who had sex with like 2,000 women. What's his name?
Oh, that's probably Gene Simmons.
Gene
Yeah,
Simmons.
yeah.
There we go.
Ultimately, and if you guys know anything about older music, he's really not the writer of most everything. It was Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Colin, go ahead with your story.
So there's not really a specific band for me or a live performance or anything like that. Because honestly, I haven't really been to many live performances. I love playing live music with us, but honestly, I'm not really a big crowd guy, so I don't go to that many live shows. But I'd say I actually just got really into, for my specific drumming style, and made me want to pursue getting better at the drums and making a unique style for myself, was listening to a lot of Japanese rock bands.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of bands like I doubt anyone has heard of them, but Toe, Mouse on the Keys.
Yeah. I love
Both of those fantastic bands, and they just have a really unique approach to a rhythmic style. So I try to implement some of that in our rock music.
Nice. So were there any other American influence, or I say American, but popular rock influence, if you say Neil Peart, Buddy Rich, I mean, are those the kind of guys that you guys listen to, or?
I'd say if I had to pick a modern Western influence as a drummer, I'd say Carter Beauford from
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
He's fantastic. I love listening to him, and I mean everything the band does, but specifically Carter, he goes off.
So before I get into the next segment of who I want to talk to about their particular influences, I got to ask the question. You know, when you start to write a song, okay, and this is a really big thing. Is this typically one of you guys writes a song, or is it a collaboration?
It's usually a collaboration that kind of goes in like layers most of the time. A lot of the time, like either Colby or I will come up with like a chord progression or like a groove on the guitar, or either that or Colby will have a melody or something, and then he and I will get together and we'll kind of work on the arrangement of the whole song, of like how do the chords flow together, what's happening harmonically. We'll talk about all that technical, boring stuff that you don't
Right.
you don't really hear about when you just play the record, you know. But then it kind of starts there, and then we bring it to a band practice session to bring in the rhythm and get the because I mean a song without like a groove and drum and bass line is just like, it's good, but that's part of our sound. Is we really have those solid rhythms. So that's
in a
kind of
way-
how it goes in the layers of the process.
So in a way, you kind of answer one of my other questions for me, because a lot of people have that question: is it lyrics and then you write the melody, or is it melody then you write the lyrics? So obviously, with you guys, it seems to be a little of both.
A little bit, yeah.
Most of the time, the music, like the instrumental music and the melodies, come first, and then Colby will fill in the lyrics after that.
Well, the
but it
lyrics
doesn't always
they
have to
get
be.
written out over time. I can't do it. I do it. We play live. I have nothing.
Right.
Whatever, and then whatever I've sang the most. Usually that's okay. I'm going to use that. And so half the stuff we don't even have. I don't think I've ever put in pen on paper really.
So
Just
it's
a
weird
bunch
way
of-
to-
bunch of guessing.
Like,
Go with it.
With like the title track, okay, Waiting on Your Call.
Yeah.
Is that something that is it an experience?
That was actually. It's hard to write. It's hard if you're trying to write. It's hard to write about yourself. So Daryl was talking to this girl one time.
Okay,
And,
so
um,
this is on you, Darryl.
I don't think I've even
Yeah.
heard this.
Yeah. So he was talking to this girl, and they went out, and everything was good, and she wouldn't call him back, and so it was a thing of.
Haven't we all lived through that?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've all been there.
We've all
Yeah,
done it.
it just. So he came in and he was telling me the story. I just picked up the guitar, started playing on 2 chords, and started. I've been waiting on your call all night.
I mean, who can
Jokingly
relate to
way.
that?
Were you
Yeah.
trolling him at
Okay.
first?
It was just a little bit of trolling.
waiting
A little
on
bit,
the call.
a little bit of trolling, but at his expense, we have a song,
You know,
and we.
Hey, it is what it is, right?
I've actually been playing that song with y'all for like 2 years now, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no
idea.
Nice.
I thought we just wrote it about something.
Even Collins learned something today. Very nice, very nice. Looking at your EP, you got some great cuts on that album. Peaches is fantastic. We got an opportunity to hear you guys play Blood Red Eyes here in the studio. Fantastic. And I wish people at home could have experienced what we just did. It's phenomenal, guys.
Well, thank you very
And
much.
I hope it
Appreciate
was
that.
really cool for you guys.
Oh, yeah,
too.
that was
very
cool.
But
It's a
this
great
is something I
experience to
think is
be
really cool. But I noticed something in kind of researching you guys and looking back on things. A couple of those albums or those songs were released in a prior kind of your demo stuff.
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
And they've been brought forward in oddly enough with some title changes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do have some
And I guess one of them, one of the interesting things that I was looking at that I found kind of interesting was the fact that what was it? Snazzy Gent became
Yes.
the Cards.
Yeah, same song.
Okay.
We changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about where it started and what it became.
So the first title of that song actually came from a friend of mine named Trent Sullivan, who he kind of like when we were writing that song, he was kind of around at a lot of the points, and he heard us just jamming on it, and he was like, "This for some reason, this just makes me think of the word like snazzy,
Snazzy,
gent, like
right.
some like real like high
Slick
class
looking.
High society.
Suit, tie, briefcase, just walking through.
That title just kind of stuck, and then like for that demo, we really had no idea what we were doing as far as recording goes. As far as like writing a song and like doing all that is one thing, but then actually getting something good to come out of a speaker is a totally different game. So at that phase, yeah, we recorded that song for that demo to just kind of have something out there, and the name just stuck. But then when we wanted to bring that song back to life with this EP, we wanted to actually pick a name that was from the lyrics of the song. And
Something
I picked
relatable there.
Yeah.
Yeah. For,
And I guess the same thing works with the other song that I saw. It was the change when you started with Jazzosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
And it becomes Undone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undone is phenomenal, guys. Okay.
Thank you.
What a great track. Okay.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
Absolutely. And when I listen to you guys, obviously there's some influences that I personally feel. I hear a little bit of John Mayer. I hear a little bit of Widespread Panic. I hear a little bit of everything. So, Colby, is there a process or somebody that you emulate when you're trying to write a song or playing a riff on the guitar? Is there a particular person that you think is your biggest influence?
The biggest influence, no. What I do when I get into music is I'll find an artist, and I'll start with a couple tracks, and then I'll just listen to nothing but that artist for months on end. So as of right now,
I'm guilty
yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
it's the only way to do it. You got to do the
binge
whole
it.
spread. So right now, if you were to ride in the car with me, you'd hear nothing but the Smiths. Morrissey.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's all I got right now. So it's really what I'm listening to at the time is probably what it's going to sound the most like.
Sure, but I think
Which-
I kind of like that in a way because
enough.
it keeps you eclectic. You know what I'm saying? It leaves you an opportunity to throw something out there that has a little feel from the past, but also is modernized. If that makes any sense to you. Okay. So Garrett, when you're pulling out a riff or you're writing a guitar track along, are there specific influences that you rely on? You know, do you feel like that for you personally? You know, are you an Eddie Van Halen guy? Are you a Jimmy Page guy?
I love all those guys. Like,
Who's your favorite?
Out of those two,
Out of all.
All of them.
My favorite
Clapton.
guitar player of all time. Jeez, oh man.
Kurt Cobain.
I
I don't know.
He's good,
Really, my favorite guitar players are like really heavy metal players because I listen to a lot.
They
of
don't get that much credit.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not really a big genre. of
Well, it's
music.
not, but they do some
But-
crazy stuff.
Yeah, they do. Like I have one guitar player as my favorite. Jeez, I don't know.
Stevie Ray.
I love those guys, but if I had to pick one guy who's influenced me the most, is a guy named Ryan Knight that used to play in a band called the Black and Murder.
You would pick someone like that.
Right?
All the fans are like, I can relate with that. I know exactly who that
But
is.
from like a band you've heard before? Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have like
Steve,
one specific
what's that guy you Googled that had 0 Googles?
Mike
Mike Young.
So
Yeah, I love Mike Young. Great guy.
Well, everybody knows it, but he had 0 Googles. I'm like, how is this even possible? You know, and let's go to you, Daryl. Okay, you know, and a lot of people misunderstand the bass player. Man, the bass player is the guy that makes the music move along. Even the Who said it. Okay,
Could be like John
You know,
Paul Jones.
Absolutely. You know,
One cut, he's like, and then another cut, he's on the freaking board. I'm like, how, dude? What the hell is he doing? He's got like Christmas ornaments hanging from his shirt, just jamming. 4 seconds later,
Were there any early influences for you?
I really, really like Led Zeppelin and John Paul Jones.
That's what I'm
He's
talking
one of the
about.
best
Pick the
bassists
right
of all
reference.
time. Steve Harris,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
great
Iron
from
Maiden.
Iron Maiden. Also, maybe more modern Justin Chancellor from Tool.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
certainly.
Amazing.
Oh, Shimon
Nice.
So I'm curious about something.
Tell us.
When you guys stepped out of the high school genre, okay, where you guys who here was actually playing their instrument during high school? Was anybody? You were.
Yeah.
All of you were. Okay.
Yeah.
Colby, you
Crazy,
play-
and I didn't even know it. Okay? That's what's really cool to me, though. Okay. So what made you decide? Let's start with Colin. Okay. What made you decide percussion's what you wanted to do?
Well, I played trumpet for a long time in the school band, and
Way
I
cooler.
never actually had any formal percussion training or anything. I mean, I can play drums, but honestly, I don't even know like a lot of rudiments and things like that. It's more of like kind of a feeling style for me. But
You just felt the beat one day.
yeah, just
You know what I'm
just
saying?
Drums are cool, dude. Rock
Right?
band's the
just
shit.
kind of
right?
felt the beat.
Yeah.
And well, sorry, I had kind of lost my train of thought there, but really it was my friend Blake Smith. You know Blake
I know
Smith?
Blake quite well.
Yeah.
Me, him, and Zach Smith got started just playing in the garage, and I didn't even know that I was the drummer of this band, right? So I played the trumpet, and I thought of myself as a musician, so we would go just kind of hang out and jam in the garage, and then I got a call from Blake one day just saying, hey, man, where you at? We're having band practice. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not in a band. He's like,
Come
man,
on,
you're
man.
the drummer. Come on, show up. So that's kind of how it started. I've been playing drums since.
Nice. That's a great story. Colby, I know you play guitar, and obviously that's something you picked up early. When was it that you decided, or was there a particular time or influence that said, hey, vocals is what I want to do?
Ooh.
I know that's
Yeah,
a really crazy
with
question.
with the guitar, it went. That one's easy. I wanted to play like Angus Young at first on electric, so I got that figured out.
Great emulation.
Yeah, and I figured out my fingers don't work like that. Neither does my brain. So I got into Johnny Cash after that, and so that
Really?
yeah, my grandparents bought me a guitar, acoustic guitar for the first time. But for singing, I think the first singer I got into was besides Johnny Cash, probably Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
Which,
Right.
I was like 13, 12, 13, trying
Right.
to hit those notes. I could hit those notes at the time.
right.
But before puberty, but now I can't. But
So-
no, yeah, probably.
So when
I'd
I
say
knew
Freddie.
you did music, how long you been doing music?
Since I was young,
Okay, I didn't know
I was
that.
forced to sing and stuff, and then
I
after
just
that,
remember you at practice. That was
yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, football practice.
Yeah.
Getting brain injuries and stuff.
And they carry on today, right?
yeah.
Right?
I was nice to all the younger guys.
I appreciate
So,
it.
Garrett, what made you decide? Was there that particular artist that said, this is the way I want to play?
It was never a particular artist. It was just like I've always loved music. Like I always loved listening to music, and it was like I remember the day I was like 9, and I was riding in my mom's van one day back home from something, and I was just listening to a song on the radio. I don't know what song it was, and I was just like, I think I want to learn to play guitar. It's like in that one moment, I remember exactly where I was when it happened, and she was like, okay, well, yeah, maybe we can start doing that. And I took a few lessons, and I broke my left arm. So couldn't play guitar for like 2 months, and then I just never went back to taking lessons. And from then on, it just kind of became this like personal challenge thing almost, where it was like, I'm just gonna learn how to do this because I just wanted to do it. Like I had listened to so much music that I really connected with, like classic rock, and a lot of old country was what I grew up on actually, because our dad used to play.
Oh yeah,
Well,
both
that's
both
another
our
question I
parents.
was going to ask you guys is obviously all of y'all at some point have musical influence in your homes.
Yes.
Okay. So, and we'll get back to that. Daryl, is here, what said, I'm going to feel the groove? You know, people don't realize this, but bass is a whole different animal all by
It
itself.
really is.
It's from I Love You, man. He loves
Right?
me. Slap the bass, man.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I can remember, I was always into music. Like I used to sing in the church choir, and then like it got to the point where they were giving me solos, and then I didn't want to do the solos anymore. I wanted to act, and they were like, no, please, just do the solo, do the solo.
Flick them off.
So, like,
Done with you.
when I got into my teens, I asked for a guitar. I think it was my 12th, 13th birthday. I asked for a guitar. I did not practice very much, but I always wanted to be in a band. So any time that, like, these guys were all in bands or whatnot, but I was just trying to do my own thing at that time. I wasn't really friends with them or anything, and so I would just do whatever was needed with like whoever I could find.
Right.
So like
right.
there was a time where I was trying to play drums, like trying to sing, play guitar. I never really played bass, but I picked around on guitar enough, and
A true utility player.
Yeah.
right? I'm not good at the other things, but
You can pretend.
yeah. So I was hanging out with Colby and Garrett. It was the summer after freshman year of college. I think it was 2013. It was the
Yeah.
very beginning of summer, and they were talking about like band practice. And while we were hanging out, and they were just like, "Hey, we don't have a bass player. Do you want to play bass?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Give me a
Absolutely.
tool, I'll learn to work it, right?
And I was terrible. Like, when we played our first show, like I really liked being in front of the crowd and stuff, but like I was so nervous because I didn't really know what I was doing. So I would play really light and almost trying to mask how bad I really was. But just
Look
kept-
at how far
yeah,
we've
they
come
were,
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
very patient with me. So eventually it just came along.
Well, obviously there's a true passion there. Okay, your licks are fantastic, man. You really fill it in like it's supposed to be done with the bass. And again, guys, you know, listening to you guys play, something for me, being 52 years old, okay, is I love what you're bringing back. Okay, it's live music, it's the basic instruments, it's real music, it's something that you sit there and play. There's no computer to it. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's what I absolutely love about it. So tell us a little bit about. Were there any other ideas when you guys first started out? Obviously, actually, let's back up just a second, okay? You three guys are already playing an acoustic set, okay, with
Yes.
a couple other people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We were playing in that band Colby was talking about, Good Show Feeling, with a couple other people, and then basically we all just had to go back to college. So that band
Bummer,
stopped.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Who needs it, right?
But then we didn't want to stop playing music, so we started jamming with Colin, got a little set together, played a couple gigs, and then, yeah, I mean, we just started doing acoustic stuff from there.
Nice. So let me ask you this, okay? When you have that first live gig together, okay,
Mhm.
there's got to be some nerves.
Oh yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
So I mean, and do you still get those nerves?
Oh yeah, I poop every time.
You get the.
It's miserable.
We only get nervous when there's nobody there. It's, we found.
I'm with you in
But you know you're
spirit.
Yeah.
good when there's nobody there, though, right?
Yeah, well,
If a tree
yeah.
falls, does it make a noise? Huh?
Yeah.
We killed it, dude. Should have been there.
Yeah.
For me,
Absolutely.
For me, I still get nerves every show, every
Right.
time. But the thing is, I know how nervous I'm going to get. Like, it's the same thing every time. So I've kind of just learned to deal with it,
Right.
and I know how to still make it work. But I do absolutely still get nerves before every show.
So is there something you guys do to battle that? You know, a lot of people, like a lot of athletes, they listen to this particular song or something before they play. And even I've heard a lot of artists actually listen to a specific genre or some artist before they, get themselves pumped up. Is
Lots
there
of
anybody
drugs.
any particular that you guys listen to, or, to get yourself in the mode and get yourself in that groove where you're going, all right, let's do this?
Yeah, I think,
Do you put the headphones in?
no, I don't put the headphones
Usually
in.
it's kind of a full band thing. Like,
Yeah.
if we're...
So you jam a little bit together before a live show then?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Nice,
bit, a little
nice.
bit. Yeah,
Well-
try to get it loose, try to get it open. And we'll play a couple songs. I'll play a song. 3 guys don't like it. Daryl will play a song. The other 3 don't like it. But we all get pumped up in our own, own different
Y'all do a lot
ways.
of covers?
No,
We
we used
used
to.
to.
We used to be.
What was your
cover
favorite
band.
favorite things to
What do
play?
you cover?
Oh man,
Oh, we've covered all sorts of
everything from Grateful Dead all the way up to we did 2 Chainz, big
2
Burt-
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, titty boy.
Yeah,
It was
so
bad.
it was bad. It was really bad.
Terrible.
It was really bad.
Oh man! But hey, we thought we had to do it because we were
It was
playing what was it, a
requested, I
fraternity
think.
party?
You
Something
should
like
never
that?
think
Yeah.
you have to play a 2 Chainz song.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that was the biggest mistake.
He's so terrible.
man.
As of right now, I'm not a very good source for this question because working at a desk job, I used to listen to music all the time. I don't listen to music. Like I heard everything I liked, and that kind of leads to the question, where are y'all happy the way the direction music's going? Because in comparison to like Led Zeppelin,
music.
Beatles, I feel like
Modern
it's just
music
on a
in
down
general?
slope. Like rock sucks. There's like
I mean, I think
There's not-
today
there's not really any
It's-
great
right.
bands.
there are great bands. It's just like in today's climate, like all you need to make music is a laptop and a microphone. Like
It's true.
there's so much music out there in the world that it's harder to find the stuff you do like, but there is a lot more of it out there.
Small
So,
fish,
like,
big pond. That's,
Modern music, it's becoming. I mean, it's no secret that the music industry is dominated by rap music. Like if you look at the top charts for the last 5 years, it's like
it's the
90%
easiest
rap
one to
music.
do. That's the crazy part.
It's its own art form.
But I
Like,
think
I can
anybody
appreciate
can. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it.
I mean,
okay?
I wouldn't say
No,
No,
necessarily.
I'm just saying, but it's all
Yeah.
studio produced, which is to me
Yeah.
is the big deal.
The studio is a different game, but like I do like that the studio is becoming a separate thing from like what we do, where we try to sound the same live as we do on a recording. Like that's kind of our thing.
Like Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
I hate his his recordings. I'm like, dude, you're so much better live.
Yeah,
right,
exactly,
right.
yeah.
And I think that's the thing that really turned me on to music as a younger kid was that what we did as kids, we went to concerts.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what we did. The Who, U2.
We didn't have a source,
Right,
to watch
and
it.
it wasn't all available. We were the generation who heard something great on the radio, and we were hoping to push play or record
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
catch that song.
I did it.
So there was you either heard it on the radio or you heard it live. And I
Yeah.
think that's really what turned me on to music to begin with. And I'll never forget, not just with Kiss, but a lot of other bands that I saw when I was young. Van Halen, The Who, Yes, U2,
Rush, okay, and here, I mean, right, okay, with Geddy Lee, there's nobody like Geddy Lee, and to hear him live like that, okay, and to realize what 3 guys could put together was
Yeah.
absolutely stunning, okay. And I got so enthralled in that live performance, okay, and I think that's the beauty of what you guys are doing, okay, and again, what Josh mentioned is, it's when you hear a song, when you go to a concert, man, that's exactly what I want it to sound like, is
Yeah.
what you're hearing on the radio, okay,
Yeah.
and I think that's a beautiful thing about what you guys are doing, is I sat here and listened to you guys less than an hour ago, playing live in our studio right here, and it sounded exactly like what I heard, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty of what's going on, okay, and that today, most people are not, that's not what they're accomplishing, okay,
Yeah.
it's so different if you hear them live, and again, you watch the shows on TV, the American Idols, The Voice, and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and you go, my goodness gracious, okay, they're not doing justice to the music industry, okay, like you guys are doing today.
True.
I mean, it really, no, but seriously, it really is. And I think obviously that's something that has to pull you guys into what you're doing today. That live aspect of everything, okay, is obviously what you guys thrive on.
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we're trying to do is play a live show.
It's great to play in the studio, like you said, and it's great to hear when it comes out super clean and everything. But people don't understand what it's like to get up there on that stage, okay?
Yeah.
And when you finish playing a song, that applause.
It's exhilarating.
Okay, right? Okay, that's what you're doing this for.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're exactly right. It's
And the
not about the
crowds.
studio. It's just about us getting on the stage and just doing it.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely. So, I guess another question I would have for you guys is and we're going to get a little personal with this, okay? You guys obviously have super different personalities,
Yeah.
okay? Which one of you is the guy that everybody goes, we just can't take him anywhere?
Oh man.
Man, that looked almost easy enough, right?
Yeah, I had a story. I won't repeat the story I said earlier in the car. It was crude and rude.
He's just got no filter sometimes.
Right?
But yeah, probably me. I guess.
I hear you.
I mean, I
Why
won't
is
say
that?
anything offensive. I won't say anything bad, but I will say something.
A little off color.
Yeah, I'll make you uncomfortable.
Right.
You speak, then think.
Yeah, well, I speak what people really want to hear, whether they know it or not.
Whether they realize it or not, right?
I just say messed up stuff, and then
Yeah,
people are like,
exactly.
"Who the hell is
Exactly.
this guy?" But it's not even relative to what we're doing. I
No,
don't
you're
know.
just talking.
I get
Just
nervous,
talking.
and I start like talking about fisting small children. I'm like,
Whoa,
"Whoa,
whoa, whoa! But
Man.
see,
So-
everyone's uncomfortable."
That was.
right,
Let me take a sip of water.
right.
Daddy just hit mommy at the
Out of his
table.
Mrs.
Like,
cup. So we were talking a little bit earlier about your influences, this and that. Obviously, this is something I would assume for just a second that all of your parents, okay, and I've been fortunate enough to know a lot of your parents, okay, that they support what you guys are doing.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
That's a big deal, and a lot of people don't realize that because you can go out there and try to chase your dream the whole 9 yards, but if your parents aren't influencing you, okay, and supporting what you're doing, then you have a little bit of an issue. Was there a particular, what kind of music did your parents expose you to, Colin?
Country, a little more country,
And more country?
and a little bit of classic rock at the end.
Gotcha. Gotcha, right? Okay, Kobe, how about your influences from your parents?
I really don't remember. I think there was a lot of.
Was stand-up comedy one of them?
There was stand-up comedy. Yeah, my dad. Yeah, me and my dad.
Right.
Stand-up comedy. A lot of Mitch Hedberg and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of classic rock mostly.
Good. And I guess a lot, and this is something we probably should talk about a little bit, okay? We do have some family members here, okay? We got 2 brothers here, okay? Which is a really kind of cool opportunity, and I would assume for just a second for you guys, obviously when you guys were young, kind of like my boys, you probably didn't get along as like you do now, okay?
Yeah, no, yeah,
But what a great thing that's happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
awesome.
I mean, now that you're older, do you realize what's happening here? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I hope you guys hang on to that forever. Okay. That's a big deal right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like when we're playing shows, I'm like
You watch
hear
him,
it.
he watch you, and you're
It's
in all of
like
each
I
other,
I
right?
just hear it, and it's like I listen to what he's doing. I'm like, man, there's just nobody else I could find that's gonna do that right there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I
So
just-
Daryl, so Daryl, was there influence that your parents gave to you?
So my mom, she always kept it on country until it hit October, and then she turned it to Christmas.
Good night.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I hate it to this day.
So are you gonna do a rendition of the first Noel on bass?
Oh, no.
No?
We had to learn Christmas songs one time, and it was miserable.
I feel like it gets the gap of Christmas music gets longer and longer.
It does.
It's gonna be in
Right.
July.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they do that, don't they?
Well,
Christmas in
I'm
July.
Sure you can hear it all year round, but I think they're going to start playing it in the stores and stuff like closer.
I'll karate chop a child in the face. I don't care. I hate it.
You got to get you in that
It's when it
shopping
should be.
mindset early, you know?
Yeah.
It
Right.
drives me crazy. It's all marketing campaign. It
Probably
drives me
have it right
insane.
now.
Right, we're already putting the Christmas stuff in Walmart. I'm pretty sure we are.
Becca's already cleaning the shelves out. Take a little spin. We cover a lot of conspiracy theories on this episode.
All right.
Is there any conspiracy theories that y'all are
Super interested in.
I get balls
Oh.
deep. Like I'm into.
Is there any? I don't know. I mean, yes, but I don't want to. I don't know.
That's okay. We speak freely here.
All right. I don't know.
So I'll throw one out there for you guys. Okay. Are you guys believers or non-believers that we went to the moon?
Absolutely, we
Believe
did
that.
go to the moon.
Yeah.
We went
Thank
there.
you.
It
Thank
happened.
you.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that? So
I'm on the fence.
Oh, you open up a can of worms. This man.
Yeah.
This
No,
man
go ahead.
on
I'll
the
just
base.
tell y'all.
See, I'm huge. Are you guys Elon Musk fans?
I am. I love it.
I
love
Right?
Musk.
Right?
He's Iron Man, dude.
Oh yeah.
Modern day Tony Stark.
Now I still try to temper my expectations with what Musk and SpaceX are doing.
I want to hear
but-
about the moon, though.
But
Tell me
the
about this
moon specifically, when you asked about conspiracy theories, I wanted to say, is there one that I can just disprove real quick?
Yeah.
See, I'm that way too.
Yeah.
Because I don't buy into a whole lot of conspiracy theories, but I stay skeptic about everything.
Sure.
So, when I first started hearing people talking about flat Earth and all this stuff,
The
and
flat
like,
earthers.
we didn't go to space, space isn't real. It's like, so you can pull up a Wikipedia page of every space flight that's happened since I think it's maybe 58. I think is when it started. 57.
That's
There's
the first launches. but yeah.
There's been more than a dozen every year around the world. It's not like it's just NASA that's taking pictures of space and everything. This is a
Right.
worldwide.
Right.
Yeah. There's
Right.
a whole lot. How many people would we have to convince to tell lies about a flat Earth? Are you kidding me?
Are you talking
Right.
flat Earth or the moon?
Oh,
The moon. Either way, it's all the same, right?
I wanted to know why you say it's
Specifically
we
the
100%
moon.
went.
I guess there's a little more of an argument you could say that we went to space but we didn't go to the moon
Right.
at that time. But
It would make that's my argument.
I
It
can
would make
see
sense
where
to
people
fake
might
it.
want to say it, and it would make sense to do it. Even Interstellar, the fantastic Matthew McConaughey movie.
That's
They
fantastic.
make
I watched it.
about
Literally
that,
watched
how
it 2 nights ago.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
great
The teacher, she talks about the federal text.
Absolutely.
Oh, we've replaced that with the version that says we lied
Sure.
about the moon. It's like,
Sure.
So it makes sense, yes, but personally, it would have been harder to fake it.
See, the first episode I actually did with Josh, we talked about that, the moon landing, okay?
Uh-huh.
So I brought something that I've kept since I was a little kid. I have the St. Petersburg Times from 1968,
Okay.
okay, in mint condition, and I laid it out on his table in the dining room, okay? And it was the most incredible. I think even he was dumbfounded. Okay, it was just full spread on the technology that was going on for the day. But I'm like you. Okay, how many newspapers can fake this?
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
fake
I mean-
anything. All they showed was their plan on how to land.
Right.
But okay, so I've gotten really into a game called Kerbal Space Program. It's
Uh-huh.
fantastic. I love it. You build rockets and fly 'em.
Right.
Right.
I learned some really, really basic orbital mechanics and aerodynamic structure design.
Right.
What they did makes perfect
Right,
sense.
that's what I'm saying. In
It
theory, it
all
makes
adds
sense.
up. You can do the math, and math doesn't lie.
See, mine with the release of those JFK files, because I kind of got off the whole moon landing thing. It didn't prove anything to me, the files, but it did tell. That's when it just my eyes opened, because I saw so many connections on how that central core people in those intelligence agencies handled situations, and you can't deny the sketchiness in the moon landing.
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
No telemetry data, nothing. We have nothing. All we have is we went, and we can't prove that we were there because we recorded over it. We ran out of tapes.
No,
there's no proof that
We do have all of the audio recordings.
audio recording.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But I'm
Agreed.
saying
We do
proof
have
to
all the
show
audio
where
recordings on it.
the trajectory, how they did it, all that they never found it. And then they found out and they said, oh, we recorded over it. And it's not one tape, it's 14 or like 4,000 or 14,000 tape that they just misplaced.
It's kind of interesting, and I don't know.
That's a
with-
sketchy thing for me. I'm not willing to. I'm not the conspiracy theory that'll deny, like flat earthers. The more I looked into flat Earth, the more it didn't make any damn sense.
Right.
Like you
Right.
round earthers, y'all just making excuses, and you're like, okay, what about like satellites?
It's a modern technology we can all know exists.
To spout your flat Earth nonsense, that uses satellites that are
Right. What we're doing right here is based on what's happening in the satellite world, right?
Exactly.
It's interesting to me that a lot of the conspiracy theories come out of the 60s and the 70s, and again, this ties right back to the music that you guys are doing. Obviously, other than rock and roll, there's a feel of some 60s and 70s influence for you guys.
It's a great era.
It was phenomenal for music, whether you were a protester or a living at home kind of guy. There was a message back then.
If
Okay,
you look at the top band, like if you just Google top bands of all time, 90% of them are in that time frame.
they're in that genre.
Beatles,
Absolutely,
Rolling Stones,
absolutely.
Led
The
Zeppelin,
ones
yeah.
that created what is today's modern music. I think everybody has a little bit of, like you said, the Beatles in them. Everybody has a little bit of the Stones in them.
Yeah.
And that's always a big influence. Thinking way back to then, obviously you guys were brought up on the country scene. You were brought up on a little bit of classic rock. You were brought up on Christmas music.
Yeah.
So
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Right.
The Paul McCartney.
How about that? Okay, so now we're right back to the Beatles. Okay,
I mean, I'm wearing a Beatles sweatshirt.
he is, and that's an Abbey Road sweatshirt right there. Okay, that's a sweet freaking sweatshirt. Okay,
What album is theirs just white? And they did that.
the White Album.
The White Album.
The White Album. Absolutely.
Did y'all see that art exhibit where they showed people people have theirs and there's like coffee stains on it, and they said that's why they did it. So over years, the album would actually make its own character.
That's really cool.
I had never heard of
And I don't know if you guys realize this, but
why they did it.
Yeah, it had like
That one-
stains
that one
and
I
like
kinda
other
like the
things.
most.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I have a huge collection of vinyl. Okay,
Cool, we have a small-
it's weird that you even guys know what vinyl is today,
I
right?
got a few, which I probably
Right?
should.
Okay. Vinyl was an amazing thing, okay?
Yeah, it
And I
still
think
is.
it actually still is.
making
It's
a
become
comeback.
such a collector's item. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think, your music is beautiful for vinyl. That
Yeah,
pop,
we'd
that
love to
crack.
do that.
Wouldn't that be a really cool thing to do
Yeah,
to this
it-
day is
it-
actually
it-
lay
it-
down some vinyl tracks?
Do
Okay?
y'all know any texts on why vinyls, like they say even with the technology you can't reproduce?
I do actually know a good one
why?
about this.
Why is that?
So, you take.
Can you explain what I was
I'm gonna
trying to say
I'm going to
first?
try to explain this without. I know a lot about math, so I guess I'm going to try to take this. 'Cause
And what he's trying to say
technicalities
is
are boring.
That
Right.
the technology we have, you can't reproduce the pure sound you get from a vinyl. So,
Yeah, you,
just in case
you
someone
have
doesn't know.
to you have to like take a continuous signal in the air, and then when you cut that to vinyl, that's the most direct way it can.
It's like a raw
processed.
hitting it.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
Like you can take a continuous signal and make another continuous signal on a vinyl track.
Right.
When you move something into the digital world, computers don't understand continuous objects.
Ah,
They only
Right.
understand
code.
discrete data.
Okay.
Right.
So you have to take that continuous signal, then chop it up into a bunch of little pieces, and then make the pieces small enough so that the human ear can't hear the difference as strongly. But then
Isn't
there
it
is
wild?
a slight audible difference.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like you can
I mean-
order a sex robot for $40,000 now.
Right.
You can't reproduce vinyl sound.
Yeah.
Like, blows my mind. Priorities, man. Went to the moon allegedly in 1968.
Right.
Yeah.
With a Nokia phone and a computer the size of a room.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, okay? What we're talking about now, and literally, we hold it in our hands today, okay? And it's kind of funny, and I'm sure you guys have played around with too. And I actually wrote a little track a while back. It's a little thing that you can do on here. It's called GarageBand, which is on your phone, okay?
Yeah.
It's got the little set of drums you play with your fingers, a
Yeah.
little guitar, and the whole nine yards.
Oh, yeah.
It's really an amazing little app for technology of what you could actually do sitting there by yourself, okay?
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
would you guys be interested if you could find the right venue or the right direction to cut a piece of vinyl?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, wouldn't that
love
be
it.
phenomenal?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Okay,
That would be
and people
awesome.
don't realize this, especially the younger generation today. There was something about not just the quality of the sound, but that little pop and that little,
yeah.
there's something to do with it. It's like watching old film.
Yeah, definitely.
It has that nostalgic feel to it that you just can't get anymore.
Yeah,
It looks too
exactly.
real.
You know,
Exactly, it was too real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know who I saw? It's actually my wife took me for my birthday, and I didn't think there's so much good music that I just didn't click. I went to John Bonham Led Zeppelin experience.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Great.
yeah.
It wasn't Robert Plant. It's hard to reproduce that. And then Foreigner.
Oh,
And I was going into it, and I was like, I don't think I know a Foreigner song.
Oh yeah, you know them all. You
And
just
I
don't
know,
realize
When
it.
they came, and I was like,
Yeah.
that song, that
Yeah.
song. They had so many hits.
I had a
Yeah, they
similar
did.
experience with Stone Temple Pilots.
Really?
I
Absolutely.
had no idea who they were. Every single song they played, I knew.
Right?
Yeah.
It's I
Right.
was blown away. And the singer, I was like, that's the original singer? And she's like, yeah. I was like, there's no way. He was running through the stand. He had no gray hair, which I see.
So is there anybody touring now that you guys would love to see? I mean, like a lot of the classic bands, like, give an example. There's a concert coming up not too far from now. It's Journey and...
Becca goes there
I've
every
actually
year.
seen Journey once before. They were
Yeah.
killer.
Phenomenal,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Twice, actually.
I was 15 years old when I saw my first
Yeah,
concert.
Incredible.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's
He
still not
may
the
be
original
better.
singer,
Yeah, but he may be
yeah.
better than Steve Perry.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Don't you say
At the
that
very
now.
least,
Steve Perry's my
he
boy.
That's your boy, right? It was the first concert, one of the first concerts I ever saw. I was 15 years old, and I'll never forget it to this day. It was an absolutely stunning show, and I think
Where were you
now
standing? What did you eat?
we're not allowed to talk about that. I was 15 years old, still living at my parents' house. So what I did, other than watch the show, is none of anybody's business. Yeah, it was right after that, okay?
Yeah.
But it's my understanding we've got a Journey and a Def Leppard concert coming up, okay?
nice.
Which would be really sweet. And surely, as a percussionist, if you understand what the man went through,
yeah.
that's got to be something phenomenal to watch.
It is, yeah. And I've
Def
seen-
Leppard's percussionist.
One arm?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I've seen some documentaries about that whole event and kind of the history of the band, and it is really interesting, especially just as a percussionist. I think
Right?
trying.
How could you do it,
Have
right?
you seen his
Even
setup?
just-
Like, how's
yeah,
that work?
it's great. Well, he uses
has a foot.
both of his feet, and you do use both your feet for a drum set, but he has more pedals.
Right, that's
than
what I'm trying to
the
say. It
typical
blows my
set
mind.
does. And that's just crazy. And it's not crazy to me just that he can do it, but that he learned to play the drums with two arms,
And then went back
he
and
learned
fixed
a
it
new
after the
style.
accident.
Like,
Yeah.
That makes
Right?
it hard.
even more impressive.
That just tells you that's a
But-
passion right
Right,
there.
because your
Yeah.
instincts take when you're doing something, and when you're at that level, you know he's played. I don't even know.
Thousands.
Just
of
think about it,
hours.
like
Sure.
Jimmy
Right.
Page, Jimi Hendrix, all them. How many hours do you think they've played on a guitar?
Thousands.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
you
my
have
gosh.
no idea.
Ton of
Yeah.
time.
And even if you calculated what you've done already, you realize how much further you have to go. I
Yeah.
think, and that's a beauty of being an artist. Okay, like with you guys, you've come a long way. You realize you've actually accomplished something, but then surely there's something inside of your head that says, "Man, look what we can do."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that's the beauty of being a true artist and a musician is that there's never a cap to it. There's never a finish, and I don't think that there's any single artist out there, regardless whether it was Hendrix or Page or anybody like that, who would say that they mastered what they're doing. Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's a constant
really
learning
fun to
experience,
see
right?
that.
And you can always push it further. You can, I mean, even if if you're at a point where you're doing things no one in the world has ever done before, you could still do something new.
Something
You can
else.
Push it
Yeah.
further. Take it as far as you can imagine.
Take
So-
Elon Musk for example.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? You
I'd
know,
be so pissed if something comes out and he's like some crooked douchebag.
Oh, I would.
Break my heart.
but
Like,
you know,
what's it, Bezos?
Jeff Bezos.
He's a douchebag.
I don't know the whole lot about him.
I
but
know a lot, and he's a douchebag.
I know there's kind of a
He's a bag of
disparity
douche.
between Musk and him, but I know he's also done some cool things. Like he pulled Gus Grissom's Liberty Bell out of the ocean.
right?
That was a pretty cool thing.
Probably just to be
be able to
douche.
have that in a museum is pretty cool. For whatever reason he did it, I don't know, but it's neat that he did it. For me, that I love space, I love seeing all the history from that stuff. I think it's neat that we can have
You
that
know, he has like a
in museum
600
instead of at the bottom of the ocean.
$1 million contract with the CIA.
Ooh, Elon Musk? I'm sure.
Bezos.
Oh, Bezos? Yeah, no, I'm sure he definitely does.
And apparently he's like a douche. I'm gonna keep using douche. He's a douche to his employees, man. You know when Amazon Prime, which I'm not complaining because it's freaking.
He's
awesome.
like an addict.
Oh yeah.
He's an Amazon addict.
Yeah. Actually, something
It's
just
hard
got,
to
something
beat,
just got
honestly.
delivered like right now.
He's like, I'll be right back. I gotta
was supposed to be
check the
wearing
front door.
mullet
I
and
got a
mustache,
package.
Try to disguise me from wearing this thing. Anyway, when they're in there, because they got warehouses, right? That's how it gets there. When an order hits, they have a X amount of time to get all of that on that order, even if it's over there, and have a package ready to go, or they're in like trouble. And it's like they're literally sprinting through a warehouse.
Yeah.
And then with Whole Foods, he bought Whole Foods. He cut down on the employees.
Is it Jeff Bezos bought Whole Foods?
Yeah,
I didn't know
Amazon.
that.
Right?
Amazon, but now they're outsourcing for all the stuff, so the stuff's not as good. And it's just it. I don't like him. I thought I was going to. I thought he was a cool dude, but looked into him.
I don't know. Either way, even if he is a douchebag, I like to see that I like to see the competition.
I like
in the
innovative.
space
Yes,
industry.
I agree. And I like how people usually when you see billionaires and millionaires, they just kind of sit there, you know. But now these people are like, I want to put a freaking Tesla in space.
I mean,
As
right?
long as they're doing something.
Right, they're doing something with their money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can do much. Well, that's actually not true. There's a whole lot of things we can do here, but space is pretty important. It let us do this whole show.
Absolutely, and people don't realize what it affects your daily lives. Okay,
Yeah.
it's because we all have this phone in our hand,
Yeah.
and we can go to download an app like SoundCloud and look for you guys and find you right then and there, and it's
Which
an
y'all should.
instantaneous. You know, that's the
Those
beauty of
smooth
our lives
there.
have become instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of a nice deal.
Tailor-made.
Hey, it's what we do, man.
Yeah.
It's what we do. It's what we do.
Hey,
So
while you're there,
I thought one thing we might could do with you guys. I have a little thing I like to kind of play with you guys, and we're going to call it rapid fire fun to start with. Okay, and it's kind of a takeoff on what we'll call truth or truth, because we can't do any dares here. Okay, but I thought what we'd like to do is kind of give the people, the listeners, a little opportunity to find out a little bit about you guys on your personal level. Okay, so we're going to throw out some questions. Okay, and they're going to be a little bit fun. They might be a little bit revealing. Okay. Okay. You may tell on each other on a bit here, but that's kind of what we're doing here. All right. So let's start off with a couple little things right here. If before you guys get ready for a show, okay, who's the one that spends the most time in front of the mirror?
Ooh, probably me.
Is it the hair? Now I can relate to that. Okay. It takes a while to get your hair right.
Well, no, you're probably right. It is cold.
I kind of thought that too.
I don't have much. I got the hair.
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't care. Garrett has the long hair and 6'5" of stuff to worry about.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta make sure
No,
everything's
it's
on
science. It really
Yeah,
goes
science,
into, like,
exactly.
I worry about what I'm wearing.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
I have a finite set of shirts that I feel like are show worthy, and I'm like, well, I wore this one 2 shows ago, but I wore this one last show, and like this one's kind of wrinkly. Like, what do I do? Yeah, that's really where it.
just
all
go to the
time
thrift
goes.
store, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I was going to say, so Daryl, do you have a specific set of stuff that you wear when it
Well-
comes to actually dressing for a show?
I like to wear my favorite clothes, but the funny thing, what I was gonna say is, me, Colby, and Colin all have the same exact shirt.
Oh, do y'all dress like? Oh, that's cute, man.
We've almost accidentally done it.
Right, you show them that. All right, somebody's got to change.
It's to the point where like it's my absolute favorite shirt, and they both have it too. So
Nice.
it's like I'll bring a backup shirt if I want to wear it, like just in case.
Can y'all
They're
dress like the
wearing.
Wiggles?
So what?
Can y'all just dress?
Everybody just dress like the Wiggles, right?
Fruits.
All right, so I'm going to throw this out there. So I'm going to throw this out there, okay? Who's the ladies' man? Oh, well, let's back up a second. Hold on, okay? You laugh.
No, it's just
All right.
sometimes, who's the ladies' man? Hold on a second.
I was gonna preface this with is how many of you have girlfriends?
It's actually
Or boyfriends.
So,
3 of them raised. All right, so who's the ladies' man?
there's kind of only one option.
Daryl, because he's single.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm buying that.
I'm buying it.
Are you buying
I'll
it?
buy stock in that.
Right.
I'll say this. I don't know if the attention is necessarily wanted, but I think Garrett actually gets the most girls.
It's the hair, right?
dude.
It's the hair, man. I get it,
Jesus of
man.
Nazareth.
That's why I haven't cut my hair in 30-something years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I gotta turn them away. Can't do it.
So, all right, here's one for you guys. Okay, is there anybody who's had that specific embarrassing moment on stage?
I've dropped
Where-
more than one stick.
And just sitting there going, all right, this is all I got left.
Well, I've always had one left for me to grab. Like I always keep extras, but there's still that kind of like hitch in the beat where I'm playing with one hand.
So you're feeling like Def Leppard all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's
Something like
right.
that.
Picks on stage, broken strings in the middle of songs. That's a nightmare. Like, oh my goodness, it's terrible.
I have a really bad story.
Tell us
Tell us
about it,
about
Daryl.
I really do.
So we were playing at this pond out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm
Right?
not supposed to say that.
Oh, we're good.
So we're out in the
We're
middle
like
of
PG.
nowhere.
There's a certain amount of numbers.
We're out in the middle of nowhere, and so we're playing this show. There's a trailer that they set up. It's for somebody's birthday, and they had free beer. So,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's all you had to say right there.
so I'm just drinking along, and before I know it, I'm blackout drunk on the stage.
And you got a gig to play.
I don't know when it happened, but at some point I came to in the middle of a song, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like I was
I'm
so
a time
lost.
traveler. What's going on?
The worst thing. Since then, I don't drink before shows.
Right.
Like I learned my
We
lesson on that
rarely do,
one.
honestly.
Or did your performance get hindered at all?
I don't know.
Because you can't say you were nervous. I mean, I don't even know how I got
That
here.
was just a It was a bad
We
operation.
couldn't leave till like 4 in the morning.
Yes.
Right.
The whole thing. I think I know what show you're talking about.
Somebody drove their Jeep off of the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
get
it's
to this
wild.
party, it wasn't just out by a pond somewhere. It was 4-wheel access only.
Right. I've been to those at the quarries.
Oh yeah.
Right, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So when you're out there and you're just hammered and you think, okay.
Yeah.
So was there any moment where you guys were out there? So who has piercings and who has tattoos?
Oh, I don't know.
Nobody.
I had piercings.
Right,
but-
other than Josh.
Growing up.
Okay.
I'm a 36-year-old.
Right. Well, he identifies as 36,
I
just so y'all
identify as
understand. We can
36-year-old.
identify as whatever we want to these days, okay? So he identifies as a 36-year-old, okay? Oddly enough, I've done hair for years and years and years, okay?
Yeah.
I have no piercings and no tattoos either,
Yeah.
okay? Which is kind of odd for a group of guys like you, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. You don't have
It
any
is.
like that. Here's an interesting question, okay? And I'm going to throw this back there, okay? So, do any of you have those guilty pleasure artists that you listen to on your playlist? You know, a Justin Bieber. Okay, let's talk about it. Colin, do you have the guilty pleasure?
For me, it's musicals. Man, I love musicals.
Okay, that's fantastic, though.
Wicked.
That's a
Do I
theater
bring that
thing.
back? No,
No, Wicked is fantastic.
Right?
I'm not saying like I'll put it on whatever. I get into
The Sound of
it.
Music. Right.
Like this.
I love that's my guilty pleasure.
Nah, I'm
musicals.
staying
This
with
guy
this.
got me watching Moana.
Rent?
He sang the songs like 100 times.
Disney
I love
Disney
it.
movies?
And he was totally right. I love
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
What movie?
Kobe, what are yours?
Oh, Moana.
Oh,
That's
back
a good
I've
one.
probably seen it like 16 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
Oh, sacrilege.
No, what was the question?
Who's your guilty pleasures?
Dude, 100%. I'm not even gonna feel guilty about it, but I think it applies. Gwen Stefani.
Oh, that's not a guilty pleasure, man.
it's
That's
not
just a
guilty at all.
pleasure.
That's a
Yeah,
guilty
it's a
pleasure.
straight pleasure. Yeah, obviously, Hollaback Girl.
Yes, sir.
Rich Girl.
Oh, yeah.
The banana song, whatever
Oh,
that
yeah,
was?
yeah,
Right?
Girl right there.
Yeah.
That whole mix. I don't know if you ever listen to it. There's just like
I
two
won't.
things going on. You have the main beat, and then you have that like synth in the background, and you have her vocals.
Right.
And those are the only two things. And you'll hear one, and then you'll hear the other one layer on top of it. And when that happens,
It's magic,
oh my God.
isn't it though?
Yes. it
I
is.
came twice, it was great.
Yeah, right.
Which
Alright, Daryl, what are your guilty pleasures?
I can only think of one thing, and I don't ever put this on, but if it is on, I'm gonna.
You have to sing to
I'm gonna
it?
jam to it. It's early Taylor Swift song.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
It is what it is.
And Colin's like, really?
We're in the rhythm
So
section again.
obviously we're learning a little bit about each other tonight too.
Oh,
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, all right, here's another one, okay, guys. And let's go back in time just a little bit, okay? And looking at y'all now, this would be a more obvious answer to me. But who's the guy that got sent to the principal's office when you're in high school?
Ooh.
Did anybody
It's not
ever
me.
get sent? All right,
Daryl.
Daryl's hand came up and Colin's hand came up. Okay, you want to tell us why, or can you?
Which
Who was the
time?
principal?
Which time?
Who was the principal?
Well, our whole high school career was Peoples.
J. Peeps?
JP.
There's a couple I can't say, but because mainly I'm embarrassed by them.
I think that's the whole idea of this.
Yeah. Well, no, it's embarrassing in a bad way.
I got you.
Is there a good way? I was so embarrassed.
Like,
It was
It
was great.
Here now.
But
Yeah.
in middle school, I got sent a lot for fighting because I would get bullied. But
Frickin'
my dad
savage,
taught me
dude.
to fight back.
Hey, that's what I'm talking
I would
about.
punch them when they tried to bully me, and then they would like get a black eye or something and go tell them.
Yeah, you can't
But-
do that.
and
Usually
then-
people
Believe it or not, with my kids, I spent plenty of time in the middle school office for the same reason. They told them they wasn't tough enough. I said, remember you said that.
I've never been in a
It was on. So, Colin, what was yours?
Well, I don't really want to get into too many specifics with it, but I'll just say I was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing. And J. Peeps was trying really, really hard to catch me doing it. And he came real close, but he never did.
Never did.
Close enough that he would bring me into the office and try and nail me down with it, and I'd just kind of be like, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, we kind of got our homecoming dance kind of canceled. J. Peeps. We originally were gonna go roll Ben Craft.
Yeah.
Not to name drop, but whatever. It is what it is. We didn't actually do it, so I'm safe to do it. But So it just so happened like 4 other groups decided they were gonna do the same thing, and then we all were like, you can't really see it. Let's go somewhere else. So we all just joined forces to just go this other place. I was gonna pretend. Anyway, so like somehow I got like a fire extinguisher and some field paint. And I found this big industrial-sized garbage bag in the gazebo at the elementary school filled with individual toilet paper rolls. They had forks. They had that person's Diamond Doll shirt, and a person I know took a dump on it and put it on their front desk. They had sticky notes all over their cars and everything. It was wonderful.
They went all out.
Yeah, and I had a piece of crap at the time. Old Coug. 2000 Mercury Cougar. I went mud riding in it. I left my key in the ignition. Well, they ended up taking the keys out of my ignition, so I was the only one that got caught, other than the other dude. I smoothed up to the person's daughter and got out of it. But that was a fun fact. It's not as good a story when I can't drop names, but
all right, guys.
I'll tell you another time.
Here's another one for you. If you gain a pound every time you say a swear word, which one of you is the heaviest?
That's I think we're all equal.
Right?
Let's be fair. What classifies a cuss word? I thought about this.
Well, the 7 dirty words that you can't say on TV.
Yeah,
How you know
That's kind of what I say.
But really,
Right.
but you think about it, it's just a word.
It actually has, has it not?
More of them.
Right?
It's just a word, just a formation of the mouth.
Right. So
Right.
what classifies it as being a swear word? Because the only thing biblically would be like honor thy mother and father. So I guess they would be. So whatever your parents think's a cuss word technically would be a cuss word. But some people say stupid. You can't say
It's pretty
stupid.
much just whatever the social norm is, and I think right now it's kind of
It's
doesn't
pretty
make
wide
sense.
open.
the 7 you can't say on
Right.
TV, and that's kind of
You can say GD,
Right.
but you can't say it like other stuff.
I think the F word just sounds bad, though. Like,
It-
there's no way you can come across
It's the
and be
most-
like,
And that's one you just can't really take back.
Good.
do what?
Right? And it's one you really just can't take back.
No,
You can't cover it up. You can't but once it's out there, it's out there. Absolutely, absolutely.
It's hard. It's gonna offend somebody. It's
Right?
be used in
What doesn't offend somebody?
well,
These days, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's one for you guys, okay. And we'll go each of you individually out there. If you could only keep one app on your phone, you had to get rid of every app you have. Okay. What app would you keep?
Reddit.
Oh,
It's the only social media I use. I think
I'm a
it's
huge
the
Reddit
one.
fan.
I'll tell you why I like it. You can filter the content however you want to see it.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing that I ask of any social media platform. Facebook, please listen.
right.
If I like to read, if I would have liked to read, I would.
And Reddit's full of pictures.
It is, yeah.
Let's be honest about that.
I might like that. I love pretty pictures.
So, Coley, what app would you keep?
Google Maps.
Oh, I kind of like that. No, I'm with you there. I get that. I like that. That's
Yeah, I get lost easily.
right.
Ooh, did y'all see that thing in that island right off Afghanistan? Or Antarctica?
I did not know.
Dude, you see that?
I haven't.
There's something, it's clear as day. If you look at Google Maps or Google Earth on the island, so if you're looking straight up, it's to the left of South America. There's something that looks like it crashed into a mountain, and there's clear as day, like cut. You see a path, and then there's like this big
It's
cigar
probably a
shape.
UFO landing.
Well, no, that's what I'm thinking, dude. It
I
looks
wouldn't
like
say it isn't.
It looks like a
Right?
cigar shaped.
No proof.
Look and see.
No, check it out. Check it out. It's incredible.
Definitely have to check that out. So, Garrett, what's the app you're keeping?
Mine, I gotta go Spotify.
Absolutely.
Listen to all
True,
the tunes.
true music, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's the app I use the most for sure.
All right, Daryl, give us your word on the app.
Well, Garrett took mine, so I'll give you a
Oh,
different one.
sorry.
Okay.
I'd probably go with probably Google Play Books.
Oh, I like that. I like
have a lot of
that.
books on my phone.
See, for me personally, I keep the Chive.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I actually use it.
Oh, I mean, if you like Reddit, I think you really like it. It's just a little more visually entertaining. There's less reading, and it's more visually entertaining. It's kind of like the difference in reading the stories in Penthouse and looking at the pictures.
Okay.
you with me on that? Okay. So just you ought to probably check it out though. But it's actually really got some really cool stuff in it. All right, guys, we're gonna throw another one out there for each one of you. Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, let's start on that end.
All right, let's go to Daryl first. What kind of superpower you want?
I'd have to go with Dr. Manhattan.
That's not one power though. That's like all.
That's like everything wrapped in
Yeah.
one.
Use Dr.
You gotta pick one. Are you invisible? Can you have X-ray vision? Can you fly?
Probably fly. I mean,
That would be
seems like
kinda
it would be
cool.
awesome, right?
That would be kind of cool,
I
right?
mean, people try to fly.
There's a lot of
They have,
shit up
like,
there, dude.
gliding
Right?
suits and
Isn't it
parachutes,
crazy
but-
now? Have you seen the guys that actually launch themselves with these suits, no parachute, no nothing,
Oh, yeah.
zipping through the mountains? I'm going, these people are nuts.
Yeah, you have to do
And
like
that's
100 different
fly,
skydives
like
to do
60
that.
miles an hour.
Right?
Something like that. It's a lot.
You know, my youngest loves to jump out of planes. That's his thing.
I've never done it, but
No, that's what he does. I took a flight with him the first time he ever actually landed in a plane, and he was a nervous wreck. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You jump out of them.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but I've never landed before.
Yeah.
You know, so
New at this part.
It's kind of different, I would think.
so what's your superpower, Garrett?
Oh, I'd probably have to say invisibility.
I like it, too.
I don't know when it would ever come in handy for me, but
Oh, I can find a time. I guarantee I can find a time.
All 16 of them. Wouldn't you?
Right? What about you, Colby?
Necromancy.
oh, man, it's getting dark here.
That's what I'm talking about. The dark side of Colby.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
emo
about.
side.
How about you, Colin?
Well, I know Daryl already said this one, but honestly, for me, it'd have to be flying too. I've had a massive fascination with flying most of my life, and I've actually, I mean, as a kid, I would have dreams about just being able to take off and fly. So
Right.
that'd have to be the one for me. And I do want to add also, I was watching a science video about this the other day. So Titan, the celestial body, I believe, somewhere in our solar system.
It's
Jupiter's
Jupiter's
moon.
moon.
Yeah, so Titan has an incredibly thick atmosphere and way less gravity than we have here on Earth. So theoretically,
You could jump and go.
if you
Yeah.
strap,
Right.
if you are on
Right.
Titan and you strap wings to your arms,
Just
you
run.
fly.
Right?
Do it.
Actually flap your wings and take off.
So
That's what I'm talking about. So, all right, I'm going to throw something back to our old days, guys.
All right.
Old school.
Basketball, baseball, or
Yes.
football?
Which one?
Pick one. What's your favorite?
Oh, basketball, no doubt.
I knew that was coming. No question about that. Daryl?
golf.
Oh, he throws in golf.
Okay. Football. I played it for the longest.
Right?
Where?
Now, Colin,
it's got to be basketball. I don't care for football really. So
I kind of figured you guys. Come on, Colby. Treat me right, baby.
For the playing aspect of the game, you gotta go baseball. You gotta
Man.
there's nothing like just throwing a ball. Either
I still
hitting
do it to
somebody,
this day.
swinging the bat, hitting a home run, getting somebody out. There's nothing like it.
I still feel it to this day.
Yeah.
And it's an issue.
One of my greatest baseball memories of all time was with Colby. Okay?
Yes, tell them all about it.
We're
Why you
we,
do that? I'm gonna
we,
pass around that footage of that thing.
we,
Y'all
we need to
zoom in
win
and
a
look at it.
championship, okay, to go to the state playoffs. Okay?
Yeah.
We're down like one run. We got 2 men on. It's a full count. Colby's up at bat. There's 2 outs on the board.
Yeah.
He literally has to have the hit of his life,
Yeah.
and he strokes it to the fence. It one hops the fence. We score the 2 runs, and we're on our way to the state championship.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Neither will I, because I remember being in that moment. I remember because we had Chelsea umpire. We had Turn, and we had behind the plate. We had Rob. I think
Rob, right?
We were getting that home cooking, man, because I remember you were coaching third base. We had a runner on first and third, 2 outs. The double steal happened.
Right.
I didn't know. Whoever was on third, I think it was Christian.
It was Christian and Adams. Jake Adams was
Jake
on
Adams was first
second.
base, and I swear to God, he got his foot tagged. And I saw it, and I was like, it's over. And he
We're
called it
done.
safe. So I get back.
Gotta love home cooking.
Oh yeah, you gotta love the home cooking. And I remember it vividly. I get back in the box, and it was 1 and 2, and I watched the pitch go straight down the middle, and I was like, that's it. And
I'm
Rob
done.
On the plate, ball. And you had the other side clear, and they were getting all pissed, and they were getting all
As an umpire,
Yeah.
I
Right.
want to know what's going on. How big of a douche was that coach? In the
Yeah.
or was Johnny's?
I
mom
believe we
the-
were playing Calera.
Yeah, we
Oh,
were playing
yeah.
clear.
That makes tons of sense.
Yeah, they thought they had us, and we proved them wrong.
That was an absolute beautiful moment. I'll never forget at the beginning of that game too. We won the toss and we chose the home dugout and made them move.
Yeah.
Which went right,
Starts off getting in their head.
right.
Well, guys, you got any shows coming up?
we do.
This is y'all's
Friday
chance to
night.
plug some stuff. Friday night, we're
Go
at.
ahead.
The Green Bar in Tuscaloosa.
T-Town.
Green Bar, yeah, in Tuscaloosa. Yeah,
Is it actually green?
I don't know. I've never been.
We're about to find
I've
out.
even heard of
I'm
it.
excited to go though. It's gonna be our first show in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And if
Everything's big in T-Town, guys.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
No doubt. No doubt.
We're very excited though.
So Friday night, what time?
I believe we will start at 10.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can they find your music?
Our website, smokingwithbandit.com.
SmokingWithBandit.com.
You got it there. You got Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Amazon, all of it.
Pick it up, guys. Well worth a listen. Well worth a
And
listen.
I don't think we actually tied down like what's y'all's genre.
Genre?
We say
Indie rock.
Indie rock.
I like that because it leaves it wide open that way. You can do what you feel, you know?
Yeah.
We like to think of it, there's not really a great way to describe it. I think we like to think of it, like you've said a lot, we're trying to bring back the idea and the image of a four-piece rock band, but kind of do something new with it too.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
It's hard to nail down 2 words
Right.
to say what that genre is, so indie rock is kind of what
I
it is.
mean, I don't know why anybody ever has to nail down a genre.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Post
I mean-
Malone, he's like, I don't want to be labeled a rapper. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
like, he's an actual musician.
Yeah.
Then you got people like what Gucci Gang guy, and you're like, how the hell did he get?
Yeah.
When you wonder sometimes, right? Like,
High school children.
right?
They have ruined Tide Pods. They made the Hall Brothers. What else?
Don't get me wrong, it's your generation out there eating Tide Pods and burning themselves on burners.
run this planet, by the way. Also, guys, if you enjoy what you heard, please go rate and subscribe on iTunes. Give us a nice 5-star review. That'd be baller. You can find us on social media. Just search Almost Legal Podcast. That'd be awesome. And until then, I'll see y'all next week. Thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you so much, guys. Absolutely enjoyed it.
Appreciate it. See ya. Hey, producer guy, we done?